Heyo guys, girls, and everyone in between. This is Rebellious Pastry here. Sorry that I'm a minute late. I thought I was on time and then Twitch is like, "Hello. We're going to make you press a few buttons, extra buttons, but I'm here." Also sorry that I'm doing this stream like 2 days late. I just needed to be in the right mental state for this. But I'm doing better as of now, so yeah. Also I didn't want to do it on Saturday because I didn't want to be like beaten out by like some of the No Kings protesters, if you know what I mean. Um and then I'm just waiting for people to know that this thing is on and to make sure that everything's working okay. And then um let's see. Um, I'm gonna end up sharing this. Um, oh no, my channel is dropping subs now that I'm actually trying to start up again. Oh well. Um, not my problem as for now. I'll build things back up. I have that much faith in myself. But let's see. Create post. Hop on in for unimportant story slash announcements. Alrighty. Um. So as of now, we have good evening, Chef Jeff B. I almost called you Chef B. But anyways, just so you know, Sci-Fi is also streaming right now. But I'm just wanting to make sure that I get this story across. Um, because I'm gonna have to do this sooner than later because I kind of feel like people actually deserve to figure out what the hell happens to me almost abruptly. I did give a few warnings. But what happened to me almost abruptly within a 6 month span. Um, but before I start explaining things, just so you guys know, yeah, my volume's a little bit low. Let's see. I also got a new setup, so um let's see. Yeah, I turned my mic all the way down for another project. Let's see if I can um turn it back up. How's that? I think that's better. Let me know if I'm too loud now, because I just turned my gain all the way up after it being all the way down. Um, um, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Alrighty. Um, I hope that fixes things. Also, thank you to the person on Twitch as well. Feel free to chat. I can see both of them, I think, from my multi-stream tab. But yeah, um, and then let's see. Um, I'm gonna put a little like tab thingy. Um, but basically, I'm gonna end up. My plan for this live stream is to just like um tell people what exactly is going on without having to be like, well, this is a highly scripted video, announcement video. I'm gonna end up like cutting out like the main bits of it. Um, and posting posting it as a separate entity of its own. But I will let you guys know when I start telling it, because I'm gonna be moderating the chat, but I'm not necessarily gonna be responding to the chat verbally. And also I don't want to get distracted from the story and have to like edit and cut a ton of stuff out of the recording. I just want to just one shot it and bam. And then let's see. I'm gonna comment and pin it. I'm gonna be telling a story. Not sorry, a story for a hot minute. That's dude, I love green. Yeah. I kept the pastry hoodie color the same. Um let's see here. I'm gonna be telling you guys a story for a hot minute. So a hot minute that I'm gonna clip out later and post. This is kind of a story, kind of an announcement, kind of a hybrid. Let's see here. So during this time, I will not be verbally responding to the chat so that I don't have to cut too many things out when out. Cool. I can end it there since apparently YouTube comments have a character limit. Who knew? Pin it. And then let's see. And just trigger warnings so that we can get them out of the way. I'm gonna be like, I usually do not slash have a personal rule, and also it's usually on the channel guidelines that I don't talk about anything political, but due to how much of the mess, or how the entire mess actually, the entire mess of why I've been gone is political, so there's that. But within me telling you this story, I'm not gonna necessarily put much opinion into it. I'm gonna be more of like, okay, so this is what happened, this is what's going on, and this is why it affected me. So yeah. And then another thing is I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but like some of this stuff ended up causing me to go into a depressive episode for a bit. So yeah. So anyways, let's jump back to we're gonna start this story in September of 2025. So I'm starting off the school year, and um also um just for everyone's reference, I don't call Donald Trump by his name when I talk about him. In most cases, I call him the Orange Man. Not not because I want to inherently like filter anything. It's just I just don't want to say his name. So I just call him the Orange Man. And um let's just say that in the very beginning of his campaign, um ran ran on two major things that um ended up screwing me over. One of those is um tearing down education, which is that's what my career is gonna ultimately be. I'm not gonna tell you how it is, due to the fact that within this career, if I were to disclose um my online identity, then that would cause some like pretty serious some pretty serious could be serious um hot water within the career path. And that's also the reason why I don't do a face reveal. It's not because like I don't want to do a face reveal, which that was kind of the whole like beginning of Storytime animation, but even if I really wanted to show my face, I couldn't, just because like I don't want um anyone to connect my professional life to my channel slash future business life. So therefore I cannot disclose what my job's gonna be outside of animation. Um and then yeah, um it's just to protect me, to protect the channel, and to protect my career and professionalism. Not that I'm not unprofessional on here, it's just like different levels of professionalism, and yeah. Anyway, so um to actually start with the story, like back in like back in 2024, when the Orange Man was running his campaign, he was running it on destroying two things that I am, or my dis or like going after trans people, and also going after um a good like the entirety of the education system. And then the within when the Orange Man started destroying um thing started destroying careers, specifically the career that I'm looking into. Also, if you know my career, please don't like dox it because of what I said before I officially started this story, but yeah, so and then within Trump, or the Orange Man, going into office, and especially when I was starting the very essential class for my major, when this was going on, I let's um I when he destroyed the education department, or while he was dismantling it, was when I had the um most important class in my major, which um just knowing how like my future career was falling apart, as I had such an essential such an essential class in said career, like my future career is not going to be completely destroyed, there's no way. But um but like within this moment, I really needed to actually get my stuff together accurately, or like get my stuff together and actually turn things in on time and stuff, which I usually do a good job of, but due to just the fact that the thing that I'm taking my class in was also the thing that the Orange Man was destroying. So I so in the beginning of the year, things started out okay, and then I just randomly decided to ghost, not necessarily like ghost, but I ended up just dropping out of the abyss of any online contact between myself and this professor. When I and this happened when I was supposed to be asking her for help on this very important assignment that I kept on procrastinating because like how how is one supposed to um work on an assignment for class when in said when the subject of this said class was currently being destroyed by the president. So, where am I going? But yeah, and then let's jump back to the beginning of this semester, the fall semester of this school year, and I decided to pick up a second job, not necessarily for money's sake, but because I wanted to get some experience in said career before starting it officially, but I wanted to keep my store job. I'm not going to say what store it is. Um I probably could say, but I don't necessarily want to put that pressure on my workplace. So yeah. So where I was started dropping the ball on the pastry stuff was when I was wanting to sign up for things for the second job over um some stream times, since this was a more as needed job rather than a set time every week kind of job. So that's where I dropped the ball on the channel. And then as I was procrastinating in the very important class more and more, and me and the professor ended up having a um mid semester, how's it going sort of just try to make sure things are working out fine, which for me things weren't working out fine because I was um thinking about how inflation it was fucked. um Inflation was fucked. How my career was gonna put me as a target, and um how um me, me being trans could also put me as a target. So I'm like, and then so me and my professor talked, and at the beginning of this whole um whole school year, I'm like, this'll be fine. I've been to hell and back more times than most people can believe. So, in the beginning of all this, I thought I will be fine. I will be able to get my crap together and be able to make it to my 1 year unpaid internship, which um for reference, the career that I was getting like needed me to do like 1 year of an unpaid internship in order to get my degree. And let's just say, even though I am very good at saving my money from like work and like um other things, like I'm really good at saving money in general. I just was like, with this crazy inflation, how am I supposed to support myself for an entire year? Like, even before like massive inflations, it still would have been a push, but it would have been a push that I'd be more like open to pushing on myself, but and also my parents would have helped me like pay for things during the 1 year of an unpaid internship, but um it, financially I was worried about like just being able to like get myself through this thing while also having people going after my career while I was doing an unpaid internship for it. Um so but in the beginning of like my professors um worries, I'm like, my mind's like, I got this. I can push through this. I got this. I got this. I got this. And then um let's just say I didn't necessarily like act myself throughout the semester either. And as the semester kept on going and going, and as I did less and less for the channel, and as I um kept on losing more and more of my sanity, like I like the easiest way to explain it is just that um like how I was saying I was fine just kept on like chipping and chipping and chipping away as like what I was all the stress I was um trying to conceal ended up like popping through like my actions. Like I didn't necessarily do anything to like directly hurt anyone. It was just more of the whole like I didn't I due to all the stress that was going on, I didn't have what it took in said moment to be able to like handle everything that was going on, and just knowing that I had to have everything um being on top of it all during like the next entire year at a in a brand new town. Um I just I would have pushed through it if it wouldn't have been for the fact that um the orange man was going after like two different things, two very important things, like career and identity at the same time as all of this. And then so I thought I would be able to push through it until like I ended up just almost completely losing it at my like little pre-internship type job. Um I'm not going to say what said job was, but um it lined up with my career, and let's just say that um I accidentally got myself barred from the internship just because I like mentally broke down at the wrong moment. So you got so we ended up having a second meeting with like even the disability association coordinator was even there, and like luckily those two were like coming up with an alternative plan for me since in normal circumstances, I would have been able to, like, I would have been able to pursue this career, but like I said earlier, too many things were going against me and going against the world, I guess. And then so luckily after like just some talking with both of them, they managed to get me out of said situation, which I'm grateful for, but at the same time I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like I could have had everything as planned if the Orange Man wouldn't have been destroying shit. And also, I want to continue by saying that most people who were in my program with me are probably going to be able to push forward, but um I'm mean to do a video on this later, but like I have some like medical and mental disabilities and also learning disability. And I'm also um and also with being trans and also with the inflation, like everything just like crunched for me. So I forgot when exactly I abandoned ship on the channel, but probably like somewhere in November. And then this semester that I'm currently in is a gap semester where I had to move back home because I didn't have any more college classes to take anywhere. Until I like started remote in the fall or the internship in the fall, but it ended up being remote the remote day or remote um year, which I'm hoping that can be pushed to a um pushed into a hybrid model so that I can go back on campus. But yeah, after that December, I just was like, alrighty, I'm just gonna um take a pause on this, and then I'm going to um take a break from everything and just like have the holidays as normal, and then I'm gonna pick back up with a job, and after I get settled in with the job, I'm going to get my stream show season set up. Now in in every other universe, in every other timeline, I have what it takes to be able to get a job, get a minimum wage job, but um since um since how does one say it? But since the job market is shot, it took me um like um it took me an eternity longer than I thought I would for me to get a job. Meaning, an eternity meaning that I ended up like putting all of my time and effort into getting a job that was either walking distance or busting distance from my house because I don't have a driver's license due to a whole other can of worms. That I'm not gonna get into today. But like I probably put in at least 25 different applications, at least. And like I was like, I gotta get my I gotta get my income source before I start the channel again, because I don't want to um like have to be like, okay, this is when the show starts, and then be like, okay, I'm gonna have to move the show. And I just wanted to get like my life back in order before um I like added back on top of the channel as well. But me getting a job didn't end up happening. Um, and I ended up giving this up. Um, giving this up at the end of February because I know that I'm gonna have a seasonal job in May. The same seasonal job I've been having since 2020, since like a 2021. Or nope, that's a lie and a half. I tried to get it in 2021, then I had stuff happen. So 2022. Yes, the same seasonal job since I've had since in 2022. So yeah. So after like not being able to get a job, it took me like a good bit to like mentally process just like the fact that none of the weird stuff that's going on was necessarily my fault. Like when I chose my major in my career and especially when like I was at the point of no return with said career and said major, um before I had to like retake credits to transfer out. Like everything was smooth sailing before that point. And then yeah. So I ended up just being so mentally down in the dumps about everything, and also I kind of I kind of felt like at like in early March until like nowish, I kind of felt like no matter what I touched, it was gonna crash and burn. And I'm like, and I'm like, everything I put hard work in right now is gonna crash and burn. So I'm sitting here like, I don't want my channel to crash and burn. So I'm not gonna work on it until my bad luck somehow like goes away. And so I just had to take like a few weeks to process just how messed up everything was. But and then so I was kept on trying to like give myself little like timelines of when I wanted to like come back and like when I was gonna get my first video done by. And I'm good news is that I'm gonna actually be doing the April Fool's Day special, but bad news is it's not gonna actually be on April Fool's Day. But the reason of why I don't call it a prank is because like I can get into this later, more into this later, but like I do like the same plot line every year, which started as a prank, but if you do the same thing every year and previous years is accessible to you, then you can't necessarily call it a prank after a while. So yeah, I will end up getting it done, but not on the timeline I wanted to. So yeah. Um so um I so right now I'm going to be brutally honest and say that I'm trying to get myself out of a development hell, which um development hell is usually like either a budget constraint or like some like conflict within the team. But when the team's just one person, the conflict is in my brain mentally. Um my brain's the entire conflict here. But I'm but honestly, with how everything else have been going, my main goals have been to like um actually treat myself and my body better, which I've been doing better at. And also being able to um get things back to speed on the channel, and also be able to like have better relations with my IRL friends, since I, like, due to just things that have happened in past IRL relationships, I do have a tendency to like talk to online people more, which is fine, but I just think that the good IRL people that I have deserve more of my time and attention. So I've been um basically trying to hold myself accountable for if I just randomly drop in communication with the people I know in real life, and then like come back years later and be like, oops. So yeah, just working on things like vulnerability and stuff like that. And yeah, um so that's pretty much it as far as the important story type stuff. I'm gonna like remove my whole like I'm not gonna talk to the chat part of the stream because that's over now. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions about like anything that had to do with me or the channel? And I forgot if I said this in the very beginning, but now I'm at a point of being from I'm being now I am like physically safe, mentally safe for the most part. As mentally safe as somebody in this damn country can be right now. And then financially safe, which I wasn't necessarily being put in physical or financial danger during any of this time, but I could have easily put myself in some really bad financial danger if I were to like go through with my unpaid internship for a year. So yeah. Um and then I'm just going to get a general bachelor's degree and then end up mastering in my career field later down on the line when hopefully things get back to a better normal. But yeah. Anyways, is anyone in the chat still online? Or I mean like still listening slash not chatting? Like I said, you guys could chat, but I wasn't gonna necessarily pay attention to it. And also, better announcement is I'm gonna I'm gonna be more phasing in my new pastry design. Like I used it for this thumbnail. I'm so glad you are doing better and you got your priorities sorted. That's a big accomplishment. Thank you. And when I mentioned also one more thing, when I mentioned like money making endeavors, I never held my channel under the pressure of being my money making endeavor just because like I don't want to be that creator who's like I only do this for the money, or this thing needs to make me money. So that's why I decided to take a break from it instead of like trying to endure it with the channel as well, because like at that point I needed money and I needed somewhere to make money to feel accomplished. But since unemployment isn't just people who don't want to get a job these days, I kind of was left with no choice. But yeah. Um I actually had someone today ask me if I wanted to like work for them as a coder. Like I ran into a neighbor today and I'm like I'm I am not a coder. Um, like, she asked me about, like, animation software, whatever, whatnot, since I mentioned this to her. But yeah. Um, but yeah. I'm definitely gonna try to phase in more priority of the channel just because the channel have always been there for me during like rough parts. Um and just I'm just gonna like try to prioritize everything that truly matters and just wait the weird bullshit out. Um and trust me, with everything being said, like if this event happened either a year or two earlier or a year or two later, I would have been fine. If I was in my career all settled and then this stuff happened, I would have been fine. If I was still in like the early parts of college and and still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, I would have been fine. It was just a terrible timeline with what was going on with the country and what was going on with myself. So, yeah. Um I'm just in a very limbo-ish type place right now. So, yeah. Also, I know no one asked me, but transitioning is doing better or is making me feel better. I I'm now on have been on hormones for a month or a year and 3 months, and things are like chilling out mostly. Um, my voice is still. Oh yeah, another like minor detail of why I got demotivated for animation was the fact that no matter what I did, like no matter how quickly I worked, my voice wasn't gonna match up with the stream show and with the video, and I was always gonna be like behind, and then I'd have to listen to a previous iteration of my voice, and I'm like, I could just record this freaking thing again and again, but then that would have eaten up too much time. So yeah. Um and then let's see. Also, I'm just so that I can like get more watch time, I'm probably gonna do more streams as well. And I'm not gonna have like an official stream show season this season. But for but I'm gonna try to like incorporate just like standoff episodes or just like standalone episodes with still with episode numbers of my shows just to get things rolling again. And then like get myself like some random work streams going and some just odds and ends and stuff, and yeah. Anyways, if you guys haven't do you guys have any questions? If you guys don't have any questions within the next 5-ish minutes, then I'm going to call the stream as over and probably gonna try to hop on over to Sci-Fi Nation's show. Since I think he's streaming right now. Yes, he is. So I'm gonna hop on over there after I'm done with everything, and yeah. Anyways, I platonically love you, my donut batch, and see you in the future to come. Bye.